Can you believe I've had this tail for years because I wanted to take cosplay pictures with it and I've never actually got a chance to use it? Well, that officially changes today. Welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Yes, my computer is still messed up. I'm actually going to take it to get fixed today after I'm done recording this video. So the editing on this video is not going to be as fluid as my normal videos are, but if you couldn't tell from the get up and the title of this video, I just saw The Little Mermaid, the live action Disney remake of The Little Mermaid last night, and I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to make a video, computer be damned. And so with that said, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, welcome to the madness. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek, and I always say the things that I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I like to talk superheroes, video games, animated movies, comic books, fantasy, sci-fi, action, horror, any variation of nerddom. And of course, I like to talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you are interested in, if you think representation matters and representation equals normalization, and you like the fact that there is a black queer nerd reviewing nerd fantasy stuff, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, become one of my Safe Gayveneers here on the channel, and help this channel grow. Become part of my Black Gay Comic Geek world. And also with that, help your boy out by hitting the like button. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm to get this video out there, my channel out there, so more people could get recommended this channel and more people could come to subscribe and join me under the sea and in my world of Black Gay Comic Geekdom. But with that said, here to talk non-spoilers for the live action remake of The Little Mermaid. But you all already know the story of The Little Mermaid, but for those of you that maybe don't, you didn't grow up with the original animated movie. To give you a brief synopsis of the movie, Ariel, the youngest daughter of the Sea King, King Triton, isn't like his other daughters. She longs to visit the surface world, and she's adventurous, she's headstrong, she's independent. And so one day when she visits the surface world, she is enamored with Prince Eric. And so she makes a deal with the evil sea witch to be able to spend 3 days on the surface. And so to give a little background of my history with The Little Mermaid, obviously I have a mermaid tail, so I am a fan of mermaids and The Little Mermaid in general. I think the first movie came out in 1992. I was 7 years old, I believe, when the movie came out. And I remember one time, well, like VHSs were the thing. I remember asking my mother to buy me the VHS for Little Mermaid. And she got me this dark version of The Little Mermaid where Ariel dies at the end, more based on the Hans Christian Andersen novel than the actual Disney version. And I was like, what is this? But with that said, like, yeah, The Little Mermaid was one of my favorite Disney musicals of all time. Like, I used to have almost the entire movie memorized, especially all of the songs. And so going into this live action movie, I was a little hesitant. I was excited that we got, Halle Bailey. We get in a black Ariel, different interpretation of the movie. But I was still very hesitant because for the most part, these live action Disney movies have not been really good. Like, Jungle Book has been the best one so far, hands down. And I enjoyed Beauty and the Beast to some extent. I didn't like the song, that extra song that they added for the Beast. And I thought Emma Watson's voice was kind of weak, but overall I did like Beauty and the Beast. But other than that, like, Aladdin was Lion King, we don't talk about Bruno. But yeah, Dumbo, trash. Like, yeah, they haven't been that good. So because of that, I was nervous going into this movie. And I will say, it's not Jungle Book level, but it's not Lion King level. Like, overall, I did enjoy this live action adaptation of The Little Mermaid. And with that said, like, Halle Bailey as Ariel, she's definitely the new Ariel of this generation. Like, she was incredible in this movie. And I'm not even just talking about her singing voice, which if you listen to Chloe and Halle's albums, or you listen to them sing, especially like check out their song compilations on Tiny Desk. But like, the girl can blow. The girl in terms of singing was a perfect choice to play Ariel, especially when that first trailer dropped with Out of the Sea. Wish I could be part of that world. Like you knew, you was like, okay, in terms of singing, you know she's going to kill it. And I actually got to see the entire sequence of Part of Your World a year ago when I was invited to D23. Thank you, Disney, for that invite. And so I wasn't necessarily surprised like when I actually got to see the movie because yeah, like I said, I got to see that sequence a year ago, and granted, most of it wasn't finished, but it still pretty much looked the same. They just added a little bit more color to it. But yeah, with that said, like I enjoyed her entire performance as Ariel. Like she gave me everything that I needed for the character as Ariel, and so like I can't say enough about her performance. Like I loved her. But like I will say like overall though, even though I did enjoy the movie and I did think Halle Bailey did an incredible job and I cannot wait to see her and can't wait to see the live action adaptation of The Color Purple, the musical. Like I think The Color Purple musical far surpasses the original movie. I freaking love that musical. I love basically every song of that musical. And when I found out that Halle Bailey's also in there, I was like, oh, she's getting the bag, especially in these musicals and then acting. But like after seeing her in this movie, I'm excited to see her in The Color Purple. But with that said, like even though I did enjoy the movie overall, I do feel like a lot of this movie was just going through the motions and just hitting beats from the movie by rote in a certain extent. And it's not to say I didn't like the movie. Like I said, I did enjoy the movie and I got to see it in 4DX yesterday. Well, you know, the seats were shaking, you're getting sprayed with water, wind is blowing and everything like that. And I did enjoy most of the performances. Like I also enjoyed Prince Eric. Prince Eric was cute. And there was a moment where he didn't have a shirt on, like his shirt was torn. You got to see man titties. I was like, okay, Prince Eric. So he was good. There was a song that they added for Prince Eric where I was just like, they could have kept that song. Like, and there was another song that they added for Ariel called For the First Time or First Time, something like that. And I liked that song. There was a couple songs that they added for Ariel. And I was like, I like these songs. I like the songs that they added for Ariel. But outside of like Ariel, she was my favorite part of the movie. But other than that, the rest of it just felt kind of soulless and by rote. Like some of the lines that you remember from the movie, there wasn't the same emotion that there was in the animated movie versus this movie. And that's not to say that they have to say and do everything the exact same way in the animated movie that they did in the live action movie that they did in the animated movie, because it's a different interpretation. Of course, you want things to be different. Otherwise, if you're not going to do anything different, then why even do the recreation? But still, and I think specifically when it comes to like King Triton, I didn't necessarily feel for King Triton in this role, except for maybe at the very end of the movie, where it's not a spoiler because this movie's been out for 20 years, and if you've seen the story, like, you know what happens when he goes to say goodbye to Ariel after she becomes human and goes off with Eric. That was the most emotion that I felt for him. But like all his lines of dialogue, it just felt flat for me, especially when like you think about the animated movie. You can tell he is a loving father, but then also when he gets mad, you can feel the menace. You can feel why people are afraid of him. You can feel why he is King Triton of the ocean, and you feel that protective nature for him. But like some of the lines of dialogue, especially when he's like, what have I done? Or like when he gets mad at Eric, like I didn't feel it as much as I did in the animated movie. And then the same goes for Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I know a lot of people were praising her performance as Ursula, and I didn't, not that I didn't like her as Ursula. I thought she did a good job. However, again, like everything just felt soulless to me and flat, and some of the line deliveries, and then also they took out one of my favorite moments from Ursula during Poor Unfortunate Soul, where Ariel says, without my voice, how can I? And she cuts off, you'll have your looks, your pretty face. And don't underestimate the importance of body language. Ha! The men out there don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. Like they took that sequence out. Like they skipped that whole part. And I was just like, oh, come on. Like, come on. Or like when Flotsam and Jetsam died, and she's like, "My poor little poopsie." Like it was the same line, but I didn't feel it like I felt it in the animated movies. And I think that was my biggest problem with this movie. Certain moments that they did recreate from the movie, from the animated movie, I didn't feel it like I felt it in the original movie. Like the emotion wasn't there as much. But with that said, like certain things that they added in this movie, I did really enjoy, like more backstory to Ariel, more storyline and more connection, building the relationship between Ariel and Prince Eric. Like I believed it more. I believed why these two would fall for each other after just 3 days. They added so much more nuance to their relationship and to the characters, and even more backstory to Prince Eric. And so I enjoyed their chemistry and I enjoyed their dynamic. I really enjoyed their chemistry and dynamic. And like like I said, overall I did enjoy the movie, but I didn't love the movie like I loved the original animated movie. And so for me, I would probably listen to the soundtrack again, but I don't know if I would sit and watch the movie again. If I was sitting bored on Disney Plus one day, I'm like, let me watch Little Mermaid. If I had to pick, I would choose the original. But with that said, Halle Bailey is still definitely Ariel. Like all the racists that were, criticizing and hoping this movie flops. Well, first of all, the movie's breaking records at the box office, so screw all the racists. And then also, like again, her performance really solidifies her as Ariel. But it's just the movie overall I didn't love, but I did like it. So that is something. Because, again, there's no nuance that exists on the internet. People will hear my review and be like, oh, he hated the movie. No, I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't love the movie. But I'm glad I saw it, and I did enjoy what I saw. And then also, like, Sebastian, played by Daveed Diggs. I like Daveed Diggs. Ever since I saw him in Hamilton, I saw him in the movie Blind Spotting. I do like Daveed Diggs. However, I was just like the whole time, I was like, why didn't they get a real Jamaican person to play Sebastian? Because you could definitely tell like he was putting on an accent. And part of me was thinking, well, maybe they cast Daveed Diggs because they're going to give Sebastian like a rap. And Daveed Diggs, if you've seen Hamilton, he can bust out those fast raps. But no, there wasn't really a moment where he was like rapping super fast. So I'm just like, yeah, they should have just got a real Jamaican person to be Sebastian, especially since the movie does take place in the Caribbean and they did have Caribbean actors in some of the background roles. So I was just like, why couldn't they get a Caribbean actor to play Sebastian? And then also Aquafina as Flounder. She was just Aquafina. There were certain moments I didn't hate her, but she was just Aquafina. And that's really all I can say. And then wait, did I say Flounder? I mean Scuttle. Scuttle. But speaking of Flounder, Flounder didn't really have much to do in this movie. Not really. Like, not as much as the original. But I think Jacob Tremblay did a pretty decent job as Flounder. And then I also like that we got to see a little bit more of Ariel's sisters in this movie compared to the original animated movie. They didn't have a lot to do, but they had more to do than they did in the original animated movie, and they were all beautiful. And I like the fact that they basically said King Triton is getting around because all of his daughters, they're all different races, and basically what they make a line of saying that they all come from different parts of the world, different parts of the ocean. And so that's why like one sister is like, black, another sister's Asian, another sister's Indian, because he's the king of the ocean. He's the king of all of the ocean. So he's getting around to all parts of the world, having daughters with all parts of the, Mer kingdom and Mer world. So, but yeah, like I said, overall, I enjoyed it. Like I would listen to the soundtrack, but I don't know if I would like watch the movie again. I would probably watch it with somebody that maybe hasn't watched it again, just to be like, oh, what do you think? But yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. But that's just me. But with that said, because I know a lot of people did love it. But my question is, if you've seen Little Mermaid, what did you think about the live action version of Little Mermaid? And how do you think it compares to the original? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, hopefully you watch, like, share, comment, interact on this video for the all gay rhythm. Sitting in this position, like staring at the camera, my neck is hurt. My back, it is hurting, like trying to look at the camera, but Anyway, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And I can't do the teleport thing because I can't edit my videos, but as always, I'll catch you guys next time.